It's Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network. You're probably going to think this video I'm about to show you is AI, generated to make Pete Hegseth look foolish. It's not AI, it's real. And Pete Hegseth, it turns out, needs no help from anyone looking foolish. It's his one true talent. Here we go.
Today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. Under the supervision of our world-class medical professionals, warfighters age 30 and older are going to be tested annually as part of their periodic health assessment. If treatment is recommended, it's entirely your choice to receive testosterone replacement therapy. This initiative, it's not about artificial enhancement. It's about restoring and optimizing your natural capabilities, protecting your longevity, and ensuring you have the biological foundation required to sustain the fight.
The details about this new initiative are still thin. We don't know if the policy is gender specific. We do know that military medical professionals were blindsided by it, but it's all part of Secretary Hegseth's weird obsession with a version of masculinity that has far more to do with appearance than performance. Of all the initiatives to spend his time announcing in the middle of a shooting war with Iran, it's just bizarre seeing the Secretary of Defense delivering a message to the nation about testosterone. I asked Kris Goldsmith to help us figure this out. Kris is an Army combat vet and the founder of Veterans Fighting Fascism and a longtime observer of the Secretary and his strange predilections. Here's our conversation. Kris, thanks for joining. I almost didn't believe this. Actually didn't believe it when I first saw it. Thought it was an Onion AI satire video, but the Secretary of War is going there, requiring testosterone screening for service members over the age of 30. And look, I get adding new regimes to the annual tests. We want to keep our troops healthy and safe. But there's a million things we screen for. The fact that he is delivering an address from his office to the military, to the American people, it's on YouTube now, about testosterone testing. I mean, it's beyond parody at this point how obsessed this guy is with fake masculinity.
He knows his audience. He is going for the Joe Rogan listener, the Gen Z young man who has been inundated in this toxic masculinity world, for their entire young lives. The average 25-year-old right now has known nothing but Trumpism since they were 15, right? Trumpism is their version of normal. They have nothing to compare it to. So the whole Make America Healthy Again thing under RFK Jr. and Pete Hegseth's obsession with fake masculinity, it is normal to them, and that is who Hegseth is communicating to. Now, I think that as much as we laugh about this type of stuff, like Hegseth addressing the entire Department of Defense saying that we're going to help you with your testosterone. That is gender affirming care.
Yes. By definition.
That is gender affirming care. I know a lot of people, laugh about the dick pills, right? There have never been more little blue pills prescribed to men in the military than right now under Trump and Hegseth, which is gender affirming care. Now, we poke fun at this a lot, but I think it's important to note that things like physical trauma, mental health trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder actually can impact you biologically. It can make it harder for people to have, relationships, physical relationships with their loved ones. So there are real problems that need to be addressed. But at the same time that Pete Hegseth has found his new gender affirming care crusade that he wants to go on to, this Make America Healthy Again streak that he is on, where he stopped people from having to take the flu vaccine, the flu shot. Yeah. We have lost recruits. And I mean, there's at least one that died of the flu. They had hundreds hundreds of young recruits whose training had to be extended because they were offline, because they were that ill, they were that sick. Right now, we are experiencing an outbreak of a parasite that is spread through human fecal matter that is causing, as the news is reporting it, explosive diarrhea. So we are using the logic of morons, and it is making us less safe in every way. And it should be noted that like a lot of people are going to be happy about this testosterone testing, this low T stuff. And it's going to be the same people who look at a guy like me and go, "Oh, you're low T." It's like, okay, you know what causes hair loss and causes beard growth? Right? Like this low T obsession is something that they don't understand, but it is a deep seated insecurity that they have in themselves.
What's so ironic about this perversion of military culture that we're seeing now is that for my entire time in service, and look, I come from a long line of military people. My granddad flew B-17s. My dad was a Phantom pilot. The military was seen as the laboratory for social advancement, for social equality, for meritocracy, ever since integration in 1947 by Truman, preceding national integration by decades. I'm also a kid from Alabama, right? And it's now been inverted. The military has become a laboratory because of the power the executive has in this domain. I mean, the executive has more power over national security than anything else it does because of the total control of the executive with Pete Hegseth's thumb on the scales over the military. We see what happens when they get their way. You have flu outbreaks that killed at least one recruit. You have this hyper masculinization that doesn't actually make the force fitter. You have the purging of diversity, and it's become a laboratory of awfulness. And hopefully a window for the American people in what they want to do to the country.
Yeah. You know, and I'm a different person today, but the me of 20 some odd years ago when I was serving in the military, if I was a young sergeant and I looked at the Secretary of Defense, who insisted on calling himself the Secretary of War, and I thought about one of the first things that he did upon becoming the Secretary of Defense was install a makeup room.
That's right.
I would be laughing. And when I saw videos of him going and pretending like he's actually into real fitness, he goes out and tries to do physical fitness with troops, and every single time it's like you're not keeping up with anyone out there, not just like people who have a physical build, like you're not keeping up with anyone. So like, what is going on with your body? These are the questions that I would be asking out loud if I were still in uniform. Like what I'd be looking at this guy who can't lift what looks like, I don't know, 20-pound weights over his head, which I can do. I haven't been to the gym in well over a year after I had a kid. That's it. No more gym for me, but I still have basic strength. What is wrong with Hegseth that he can't perform and that he is so obsessed with enhancement? That seems to be the way that he's going.
It's all form over function. We had this conversation with Bobby Jones, an academy football player, about Hegseth's new grooming standards. And then this recently rolled out the body proportion standards, making sure your torso to waist ratio is of a certain proportion, which would probably kick out half of the academy football team, because Hegseth has this certain image of a poster child of the military service, and it doesn't fit the reality of what the military requires, much less the reality of like health.
Yeah.
As you see in Hegseth himself, he looks the part but can't lift a weight.
So testosterone therapy, and let's be clear about this under the care of a doctor, when a doctor prescribes it and is actually caring for and observing the patient, testosterone therapy is safe and it can improve people's lives. But I was looking through some of the side effects that can occur. And one of them is worsening sleep apnea. Right now, Republicans are fighting, and Mike Bost, who is a veteran who leads the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, is leading the passage of the so-called Take Care of American Veterans Act. You know what that would do? That would make it so that those who are currently serving right now, not you and me, not people our age, not people who are already separated, who are already veterans, not still on active duty, the people currently getting testosterone therapy under Hegseth's new rule, who are at risk of worsening sleep apnea, will go out and become veterans someday, go to the Department of Veterans Affairs. And if this legislation passes, the VA is going to be like, well, your sleep apnea is not really a problem, so you're not going to be compensated for it. So like the logic of these people is so circular and so self-sabotaging. And I feel bad for the little Joe Rogan listeners who are currently, junior enlisted or junior officers who are growing up in this world where the Hegseth version of the military is normal, right? If you're 20 years old in the military, you've known 18 months of life under Hegseth. So that's your version of normal for the military. These people are going to be hurting for the rest of their lives for the decisions that Pete Hegseth is doing today to look cool on the internet.
Yeah. Going to have to leave it there, Kris. Thanks so much, as always, for the quick check-in. We'll post it right away. Appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.